Good evening. I hate to stop this party. It's so much fun. My name is Mark Sokup, and I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to the third annual celebration of excellence in women's leadership in Wayne County and the awarding of the Athena Award. Bill Burns' quartet has played for us for the past hour, and let's tell them what a great job they did. And let's also give Forest Hills a round of applause for the great meal I know we're about to enjoy. I'd like to recognize some important people that are in attendance with us today that have been past nominees and award winners of Athena. First, Mary Jo Clark, the 2014 inaugural winner of the Athena Award. Jackie Carberry, last year's winner of this prestigious award. Welcome, ladies. And also with us are past nominees and finalists. Karen Clark, Valerie Ray, Valerie Schaefer, Kelly Van Vliet, and Mary Walker. I'd like to also introduce two of our three principal owners of Wayne Bank and Way True Corporation. Bonnie Kruckenberg is our chairperson of the holding company, member of the bank board, and she's accompanied tonight by her husband, Greg. And her sister, Kristen Scroggum, and her husband, Leo. Our third principal owner, Wendy Semba, was unable to be with us here tonight. These are some remarkable women that I'm honored to be associated with at the bank. Without their trust and willingness to take a risk, I wouldn't be with the bank and I wouldn't be here tonight. So I thank both of you immensely. When I came to Wayne County over 3 years ago, I was impressed with the number of women in key leadership positions within our community. They held positions in government, education, not-for-profit organizations, retail, manufacturing, self-employed individuals, and the financial services industry. At that time, 3 years ago, we were working very closely with IU East and Frederica Joyner in her leadership development to advance the leadership skills within our organization. I'd been involved with Athena in other communities that I lived in, and I thought, what a great opportunity to bring that to Wayne County. So, with our bank being a female-owned business and IU East installing their first female chancellor at the time, it just seemed like a terrific partnership. So 3 years ago, a partnership was formed, and here we are today, 3 years later, and about to recognize three extraordinary women in our community and choose one winner. I've said this before, and I think it needs to be repeated. You know, in track and field, I've got some kids that run track, and I've got grandkids running track. The difference in track and field between first place, second place, and third place is measured in 1/1000th of a second, right? And there's an awful lot of correlation here in Athena. We've experienced it every year, and this year was no different. The separation between first and second is just the blink of an eye or less. I offer my personal congratulations to all of our finalists that are here tonight. They'll be introduced to you in detail later in the program. It's now my pleasure to turn the podium over to our partner in this venture, the Chancellor of IU East, Kathy Cruz Uribe.
Thank you very much, Mark. And I'd also like to offer my congratulations to our current nominees, our past winners, and our past nominees. They're all wonderful women in our community. And Mark, it's just such a pleasure to partner with Wayne Bank and Trust to present the Athena Award. And we thank you for bringing this idea to our community and campus 3 years ago. Like Mark, I was also involved in the Athena process in another community, so I'm delighted to see that we are doing it here in Richmond. As we celebrate outstanding women leaders in our community this evening, I took a little bit of time this week to reflect upon women and leadership. And of course, I'm an academic, so of course I went to the research literature to read some recent thinking on this topic. One of the most interesting articles I found was a Harvard Business Review article entitled, "It's Time for a New Discussion on Women in Leadership" by someone called Aviva Wittenberg-Cox. So as the article points out, the Chancellor of Germany, the head of the IMF, and the chair of the US Federal Reserve are women. 60% of the world's university graduates are women, and at IU East actually we're even a bit higher than this at about 70% of our graduates. But the author of this article points out that despite what I've just noted, women still continue to be underrepresented in businesses, especially at senior leadership levels. So the author frames this problem as a missed business opportunity. She points out that gender balance delivers better performance and calls for devising solutions that enable organizations to become more gender balanced. She calls for companies to be aware of gender differences and to become more skilled at managing them to create more effective organizations. Another article by Glenn Lopez in Forbes lays out some of the unique qualities and abilities that women leaders bring to the workplace, including they are opportunity-driven, that is, they look for opportunities, they're strategic, they're passionate, they're entrepreneurial, they're purposeful and meaningful, and they value traditions and family. Now, not everyone has all of these traits, of course, but I think that tonight you will see that many of these strengths are reflected in the accomplishments of our outstanding nominees. So thank you all for being here. And now I would like to call to the podium two wonderful colleagues, Paula K. King, who is a Director of Gift Development at IU East, and Noreen Groth, Assistant Vice President and Marketing Director at Wayne Bank and Trust Company, to continue our program. Thank you.
Well, it's just typical for me to be late. Okay, what do we... Okay. Thank you to everybody for being here. We're so excited to do this again for the third year. So thrilled that the room is full. We anticipate it being more full every year, so please keep coming back. Please do not forget to get your selfie pic taken. This is a very important thing to me, and I will hunt you down. And I want to thank our Wayne Bank Committee. Kendra Conley, Joanne Spurlock, Karen Mays, Alicia Strunk, Rhonda Irvin, they rock.
And I would like to thank our IU East employees that helped on the Athena Committee. We have Angie Callahan, Haley Carty, Chancellor Cruz Uribe, Leslie Hale, Liz Johnson, Chelsea Nichols, Jason Troutwine, and Terry Wiesehan. We would also like to thank Queen Bee Confections for the beautiful desserts this evening.
We would not be here tonight if not for our awesome sponsors. So our gold sponsors, who also rock, Kicks 96, Sunny 95.3, and The Point. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
And at this time, I would like to introduce Reverend Dixie Miller. She will be doing the invocation for us this evening before dinner.
Thank you.
Let us pray. God, who blesses us with your creation of universe and earth, we are glad to offer you our thankful hearts this evening for the gifts of knowledge and interconnections that women bring to our world and society. May we experience insight, wisdom, and the joy of discovery each day as we live out our lives in partnership with all others who inhabit this world. You bless us with all the fruits of creation's bounty, of which we will partake this evening. Bless us with the energy these gifts of the earth provide us as we fellowship and share our laughter and friendship with one another this evening. Thank you for all your good gifts and one another. Amen.
Good evening, everyone. Let's give the Bill Burns Quartet one more round of applause, please. And as Mark predicted, the meal was great, so please thank Amy and the staff at Forest Hills Country Club for their hospitality tonight. I'm Jason Troutwine, Vice Chancellor for External Affairs at IU East, and it's my pleasure to introduce tonight's keynote speaker. Sue Ellspermann was named Ivy Tech Community College's 9th president, a role that she will officially assume July 1. Sue Ellspermann has more than 30 years of experience in higher education, economic and workforce development, and public service. She most recently served as Indiana's 50th Lieutenant Governor from 2013 until March of this year. As part of that role, she served as President of the Senate and Secretary of Agriculture and Rural Affairs, as well as overseeing 6 agencies. As the Vice Chair of the Indiana Career Council, she led efforts to align Indiana's education and workforce development systems to meet the needs of employers in the state. Her public service began in 2010 when she was elected as the state representative for District 74. She formerly served as a founding director of the Center of Applied Research and Economic Development at University of Southern Indiana, and also owned and operated Ellspermann Associates Incorporated, an independent consulting firm licensed in the training and facilitation of simplex creative problem solving. Early in her career, she spent time with Frito-Lay, Michelin Tire. She holds a PhD and MS from University of Louisville in industrial engineering and a BS from Purdue University in industrial engineering. She is married to James Mailing, a recently retired high school principal, and I understand maybe a baseball coach as well. And she has a blended family of 4 daughters, 3 sons-in-law, 2 grandsons, 2 granddaughters, the second of which you just arrived. So congratulations for that. Please help me welcome Dr. Ellspermann to the podium.
All he has to do is mention my newest granddaughter, Faith. She's a beautiful little 2-week-old. I mean, those grandmas and grandpas in the room, you understand. This is maybe God's greatest gift as grandparents, right? We all get that. But thank you so much, Jason. Thank you, Wayne County, for the opportunity to be here with the Athena Awards. And I want to particularly thank our 3 finalists, Amy, Kim, and Rebecca. I got to meet you all just briefly, but you have 3 wonderful women you're going to recognize tonight. Let's give them one more big round of applause. Thank you. You know, the Athena Leadership Award is presented to a woman or a man, this is interesting, who is honored for professional excellence, community service, and for actively assisting women in their attainment of professional excellence and leadership skills. That's a very interesting caveat as to why it's done. Nearly 7,000 awards have been given out across the world since 1982. the year I graduated from college, but who's counting? It was a long time ago. So I thought it'd be interesting to go back memory lane a little bit to some of those women firsts along the way, right? So think about this. This West Point opened itself to women in 1976. And now how I remember that is I was at Girls State in 1977, and my roommate went on to West Point. I thought, how cool is that a woman could go to West Point? Margaret Thatcher was elected Prime Minister of England in 1979, another first. Sandra Day O'Connor, nominated by President Reagan and confirmed by the Supreme Court in 1981. Just under 10% of engineers graduating from Purdue with me in 1982 were female. Geraldine Ferraro, our first female VP candidate. That was a big deal in 1984, another big first. Madeleine Albright, the first woman Secretary of State in the Clinton administration in 1997. Hillary Clinton, also a Secretary of State, is what we will call the presumptive nominee, right? Isn't that the word we're all using? First woman presidential nominee as of this week. And my little piece is being the first female president of Ivy Tech. Should I make it till July 1? I don't know, Chad. Thank you. But it was interesting. I never really even think about that kind of thing. And then a reporter asked me yesterday what it was like to be named the first female president of Ivy Tech, and I just had to think, like, I don't even think about it. Like, you just do the job, right? And isn't that really the goal of what this is all about, is where our female leadership can be appreciated in all the same ways as our male leaders and all other diverse individuals in our communities. And so I think that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be anything all that special, but I'm particularly honored to be here because, as you heard, I am the mother of 2 daughters and 2 stepdaughters. The goal I've always had for them is that those of us who've had to break glass ceilings along the way, they won't have to think about that. They won't have to even consider how that's any different. You know, so my own story is one of wanting to be an engineer, starting that consulting business at age 26, completing a PhD, raising daughters while running a business and doing that, joining academia, being a single mom at 40, where I really gained the really sincerest appreciation for what single moms go through. And I had all the skills, tools, resources to be successful, but just beginning to understand how difficult that is for so many. Remarrying and then entering the world of politics. What was I thinking? You know, that's what most people are like, what? My dad, what I still remember is the funniest thing. I told my dad, I said, Dad, I think I'm going to run for state rep. And he said, why would you do that? And he was serious, like, you can't win. That was all, you can't win. Well, that's a big vote of confidence. But anyway, so let me turn the focus to here really on the importance of supporting women in the workplace and all of their contributions. You know, you heard the Chancellor say this, and I want to reiterate it on that diversity in the workplace produces better results. I saw it firsthand at Frito-Lay when I was a young engineer and supervisor. I was told, this was so funny, I was told by my manager when I became the first supervisor on the shipping dock. I was going to take over 3rd shift shipping. And he said, Sue, you're going to have to learn how to cuss. I said, Larry, watch me. And so I had no cussing and no spitting on my dock. So interestingly, he was let go later. But isn't it interesting that, but I knew, and we know women, lots of times as we come into the workplace, we add just another color, another character, more skills, more perspective. As a consultant, I facilitated many, many teams, and it was clearly, as you heard the Chancellor say, those most diverse teams achieved the best. Diversity of all kinds, gender, age, ethnicity, life experiences. The perspectives they gave helped us do better fact-finding, better definition of what the real problems are, better solutions. We know that research shows that corporate boards that have women on them outperform boards that are more homogenous. So we see that over and over. And just to check in the room, I'm sure there's at least a few women. How many have read Sheryl Sandberg's Lean In book? Anybody read that? Just a few. If you haven't, you should read it. Women, it's a great read. You'll go, oh yes, that's us. You know, she was a top executive at Facebook, and she speaks to the barriers that we put often on ourselves. And one of my favorite stories she tells. So she went to Harvard. Good for her. Really, I mean, she's really a smart woman. Her roommate, she said, was the kind of person who would read the textbook in its original language. You know, that hardcore. She went to class, her roommate was over the top. Her brother also went to Harvard. He was a couple years younger. They happened to be in a history class together, and he never went to class. They went. Her roommate read all the history books in the original language. So it comes to finals time, and the young man's smart enough to say he wanted to study with those two, right? They take the final, they come out of the final, and they're talking about how it was. And they both said, well, you know, it was hard. I could have done this different. The women are going back and forth what they could have done better. But ultimately, they said, well, what grade do you think you got? Well, she said, well, I think I got an A. Her roommate said, I think I got an A. Her brother said, I think I got an A. And he did. They all did. But it's the confidence thing, right? Because we as women, we want to be perfect. We think it's got to be perfect. And I thought it was a great example of just the difference between how those high standards and also how it affects our confidence sometimes. And I also wonder how that impacts us in terms of work and promotions, the salary gap that many of us hear between women and men. You know, the fact is, and you heard the chancellor say, that we've had more women graduating college the last 30 years than men, yet we still, income-wise, are at 75% of men. And I don't know that I've read a study yet that I really get that it catches all the factors. But certainly, I know at some point along the way, we're part of our own problem of not expecting enough, asking enough. We expect ourselves to give 200% for the job we do. And in fact, I will tell you, I left my job at the University of Southern Indiana my second year as a state rep because I didn't feel I was giving it enough. I couldn't give it the 50 or 60 hours a week that I was used to giving it. I knew that I had been elected to do a job of state rep, and so I felt the only thing I could do was to leave it and go back into consulting, which I think is part of how we are. That's good to a point, but at some point we have to also expect that equal pay, et cetera. So the last few months, I've had my name in the paper, I guess a little more than I ever thought I wanted to in terms of as I was pursuing this position. I will tell you, don't ever interview in public. It's really not a fun thing to do. But I think about that, and I think the media was mostly kind, but there were a lot of questions about, is she qualified enough? And I'm thinking, okay, if anybody had a PhD in engineering and they had the experiences, wouldn't you think you'd be considered qualified? But yet, again, there's always, as a female, we're still coming just around that final corner of, are we always there? Are we always the best candidate? Are we prepared? And so here's a few things. I just want to talk about what we can do to make sure that we as women leaders, we as leaders all through the room, men and women, can do to help ensure that we're helping to provide those great leadership opportunities for others going forward. So first, offer to be a coach and a mentor. We know that as all of us succeed in our careers and move on, no matter what level you are, that coaching and mentoring is incredibly important. You know, sometimes as women, you can say, well, I had to prove myself to get there. No, we want to make sure that the next one behind us, we are always making it easier for them, that we are paying it forward in every opportunity that we get. We want to stand up for the young women Give them the opportunities, give them bigger roles, give them feedback, help ensure that they're pursuing a promotion. Because again, we know lots of times, and we know this in politics, women have to be tapped on the shoulder. Sometimes we have to tell the woman next to us she should apply for that job, she should go after that, she should pursue it. So we need to do that in all cases. And then walking the talk. If we can all walk the talk as we look for opportunities for women and minority perspectives to be brought into our teams and our projects. You know, my husband's a principal of a school. He always tells me, Sue, you're always, as a feminist, you're always encouraging women. You think you need more women there. He says, at school, I don't need more women. They're all women teachers, right? He says, you've never supervised all women. And so it's diversity. The answer is all about diversity and how we bring more women, more minorities, more people with different diverse ways of thinking, diverse gifts, and be sure that we're assessing them on their talent and their contributions versus some perceived value or expectation. I just say there's just no question. The world is such a better place today for women and all people with different perspectives. And it is important with those daughters of mine that they have those opportunities to do whatever they want to do. You know, we really range from one finishing her PhD to one whose dream was to be a stay-at-home mom. And we have everything in between. And I think that's the beauty of it, that they can pursue and use their gifts and talents in the best ways they choose themselves and with their families. And so I want to thank you, Richmond and Wayne County, for celebrating this Athena Award. It really lets us know that you value women in leadership and diversity, and it lets us know that the community is raising young girls and women who are going to be capable of leading us into a prosperous future. So let me end by telling you a little bit more about why I left the position of Lieutenant Governor, the first one of 50 to do so. You know, I'm going to do a little commercial here. This is my Ivy Tech commercial. You know, Indiana's biggest opportunity going forward is getting its workforce right. That means more post-secondary skills, more post-secondary degrees and credentials. It means moving people from entry-level jobs into those middle skill jobs and beyond. If you do the math, we've set a goal in Indiana of 60% of our workforce having post-secondary degrees or credentials by 2025. That's 1 million more. Think about that. We're 6.5 million Hoosiers. That's 1 million more degrees and credentials. Over half of those will be in the sub-baccalaureate space. That's the Ivy Tech, the Vincennes, the 2-year college space. We have a big job in front of us. We already have 170,000 students per year graduating, over 20,000 credentials and degrees. But we would need to even double that to meet the goal. So, Chad, don't expect to take any vacations in the next few years. We got a lot of work to do. But it's truly, truly the opportunity of a lifetime to think that as governor and I worked these last 4 years to really bring jobs back. We've had over 140,000 new jobs come to Indiana. We're back in a place of unemployment where pretty much people who want to be working can be working. The challenge now is to get them the right skill sets, not only to meet the needs of employers, but to increase prosperity across the state so that we can see those earnings go up based on the skills of our Hoosier workers. And as we do that, we will attract even more companies and opportunities into our state. So I get so excited when I think about what we can do together to get there, what we can do with our partnering institutions like IU East. There will be plenty of work, Chancellor, for all of us to do. I have no doubt that there's plenty to do. But I'm going to do a little commercial for one program because I don't know how many people in here are part of this group. We know that 750,000 Hoosiers have part of a degree. You know, you've got some credit, but not enough for an associate's or a bachelor's. So we do have the program You Can Go Back, which offers $1,000 to go back to finish that either 2-year or 4-year degree. So if there's people in here, www.youcangoback.com. We would love to see many get that opportunity, get that credential, that degree, so that they can use it to further their career. It's really been the ride of a lifetime to be a state rep and then Indiana's 50th lieutenant governor, but it will be the true opportunity of a lifetime to lead Ivy Tech and to see what we can do with this biggest engine in the state of Indiana and the largest singly accredited community college in the nation, to see just what we can do when we get it all right, Chad, when we get it all right. So anyway, Athena Award finalists, whether you win or not, women, we know how special they are. One more round of applause for our great Athena Award finalists. Know that I will be cheering you on. I'm always willing to serve as a mentor to anyone as imperfect as I am, but you've got three great, perfect leaders out here, great examples. Please, I know that you will pay it forward in your roles, but please see them in that role in the community as well. And thank you so much for all you're doing here. This is what we need to be happening in Indiana, and I thank you for letting me join you tonight.
We appreciate so much you coming to visit Wayne County, Richmond, Indiana. We congratulate you on your new position, and we hope we'll see more of you. And we have a little gift for you.
Wow.
A little taste of Richmond and Wayne County, and we hope you enjoy it.
Thank you very
so
much.
much.
Thank you.
This is one of my favorite parts when I get to thank the sponsors. We would love to thank our silver sponsors, Fiserv, Meridian Health Services, Richmond Baking Company, and Warm Glow Candle Company. Thank you so much.
And at this time, we would also like to thank Carvin Reinhardt. And Carvin, if you wouldn't mind standing for me, please, for designing the Athena print again for us this year. All of our finalists will get to take one of these home this evening, thanks to Carvin, so we thank you.
And we hope you will continue to do that. At this time, I would like to introduce our first finalist and her nominator, Amy Oler Holthouse, and her nominator, Natalie Richard.
Good evening. I'm Natalie Richard. I'm from Richmond Furniture Gallery, and I am so honored to be a part of this special evening and to be making this very special introduction. 6 years ago, when I joined the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, I remember one smiling face in particular, and she welcomed me warmly into the group, and she helped me learn my new role. And her name was Amy. She was the Chamber's Director of Events and Education. And I noticed right off the bat that she was very organized, she was capable and so competent, and I remember thinking, this woman's really running the show. She knows what's going on around here. So it was no surprise to me that just a few years later, she was hired as the Chamber's president and CEO. And as Amy took on her new role at the Chamber, it was a time of many, many changes. But Amy stepped in and she successfully navigated all the challenges. She rebuilt relationships, she established new connections, and she created a more effective business model for the Chamber. All a credit to her professional excellence, tenacity, and her adaptability. Today, Amy is a familiar, welcome, and active member and Chamber representative in all corners of Wayne County. In 2015, when I was elected Chamber chairperson of the board, I also had the opportunity to witness Amy's leadership firsthand. And through Amy's leadership, I've seen the Chamber grow, revamp its image, and become increasingly more community involved. Personally, I'm proud to note that Amy's leadership has ushered in what I see as a new era of diversity and inclusion at the Chamber. And as a woman, I've felt more welcome and respected as a member of the board and at Chamber events. Amy is a natural consensus builder, and she's always looking for ways to get people more involved, and she always includes people in the conversation. Amy encourages women to hold leadership positions in the chamber, and I'm proud to note that our current chairperson, Kathy Cruz-Uribe, and several of our recent past chairs have also been women. Amy's leadership style is gentle, she's compassionate, and she's very contemplative, and she responds to meet the needs of the many. But Amy is also a very savvy businesswoman, and I've seen her tackle very tough issues through our Issues and Advocacy Committee, and I've seen her take the lead and the charge on tough decisions during our board meetings. Amy's also shown creativity and initiative in her leadership by engaging the chamber in several community partnerships and collaborations, such as our business education breakfast with Center City, the School is Cool program, Manufacturing Matters, Chamber Network Nights, and her work on the America's Best Communities competition. Amy has developed the Chamber's internship program as well, and 2 of her female interns from this past year were nominated for the Internet Impact Awards. Amy also helped open the Chamber Center of Excellence to the general public as a fiscal agent, and some of the projects springing from her efforts include the Centerville Playground Project, the Festival of Murals and the Star Piano Festival, and most recently the LeaderCast program. Each of these projects has enhanced the community in significant ways, and I'm happy to see how Amy has included the Chamber in these efforts. What's most amazing to me about Amy is that not only does she do all this work, she also spearheads these efforts as a devoted mother to her son John, who just finished up his freshman year at Rose-Hulman, and her vibrant daughter Kate. Amy stays intimately involved with all their lives while handling a very, very busy schedule. And Amy is a single mother. But she works hard to provide her children with opportunities to learn and explore the world. They engage the community, and she's developing them into very productive adults. Her love for her children is apparent to everyone who knows her, and their outstanding personalities and their positive attitudes are a testament to her hard work as a mother. And I admire how Amy is engaging Kate in our community and helping develop our next generation of female leaders. Beyond that, Amy has been a great friend and a confidant to many women in the community, including me. She has been through a lot of challenges in her lifetime, but she's a woman of great faith and is always a listening and supportive ear. She helps people move positively through the changes in their lives. As you can see, Amy is an exemplary leader who consistently achieves excellence in her profession, who serves the community in meaningful ways, and who helps so many women in our community reach their fullest potential. Amy, I am so blessed to have you as my friend, and it is my honor to present you as a nominee for the Athena Leadership Award. Congratulations.
Now, I would like to welcome to the stage nominee Kim Poinsett and her nominator, Jenny Lawman.
I could be standing over there, you could be reading. But you're the one we're here to honor tonight. It is my honor to represent a team of people who put together the Athena nomination for Kim Poinsett. Bridget Hazelbaker and Sherry Harlan cooked up the idea to nominate Kim, and the rest of us all eagerly offered our help. The letters of recommendation actually flooded in. We would like to thank the following people for sending letters in for her packet: Peggy Sanova, Brett Rowland, Dudley Fetzer, Rick Parker, Gary Clear, and Justin Burkhart. I would like to share a few of the letters with you tonight. There were so many, and we picked out a few pieces. We're going to try and not make you cry. We're going to hold it together. From the PR Breakfast Club, several years ago, Kim connected with Bridget Hazelbaker, Sherry Harlan, and myself. and we formed a breakfast club of sorts. In these meetings, we discuss our community. We also have a lot of fun. We laugh a lot. We talk about how we can share ideas and how we can change things in our community and work together in partnerships. Kim has led the mentorship and friendship at these meetings, and for that, we are eternally grateful. Bridget Hazelbaker of Richmond Community Schools writes this about Kim. Kim Poinsett has given me career guidance, and she has helped me acquire the skills necessary to take the next step in my career. She has assisted me with expanding my professional network by interfacing with women who are both guiding and transforming Richmond and Wayne County. We exchange ideas with each other, and we develop new contacts and friendships. Sherry Harlan of Reed Health has this to say about Kim. Kim was very influential in restructuring my role in representing Reed Health in our community. Reed Health used Kim's job description and her community work in setting up my job and setting new goals for me to do good works in the community. I would not be where I am today without her mentorship and her friendship. Rick Parker and Dudley Fetzer from In Concert has this to say about Kim. Kim Poinsett has been an independent volunteer for In Concert for the last 2 seasons. Kim brings a different perspective to our group. She has been instrumental in the tremendous growth of In Concert over the last several years. In 2015, we proudly shared $40,000 with 11 nonprofits, with a lot of Kim's help. Peggy Sonoma, Regional Director of the East Central ISBDC, she made an acronym for Kim, spelling out the letters of Athena. A is for the amazing circle of professionals that Kim not only networks with, but truly assists in their growth. T is for the tireless hours that Kim puts in with so many charitable groups. H is for the humor that she brings to all of us. E is for the enthusiasm that we all get to experience whenever we're in her company. N is just how nice Kim treats everyone she encounters. A is for authentic. With Kim, what you see is truly what you get. And I truly feel that Kim, what you get with Kim is amazing. And in conclusion, I would like to share my thoughts about my friend Kim. Kim nurtures relationships and is a champion for the power of women. Kim believes in building teams and cultivating talent. She truly loves serving her community, and she encourages all of us to do so too. When she is involved in community events, she never asks, "Can I help you with your event?" She always eagerly says instead, in a very warm and cheerful, smiling voice, "How many volunteers do you need? And when do I show up to help?" She's always someone that we always can count on for events, planning, and many other things. I've never known a woman who possesses such strong work ethics. She has the uncanny knack of connecting volunteers and community resources to make a big impact in our community. To Kim, it's not work, it's her way of life. She always makes her service and her mentorship seem like it's absolutely no big deal. Well, tonight, my dear, it is a big deal. It gives me great pleasure to nominate Kim Poinsett for this prestigious Athena Award.
I would now like to introduce our third finalist of the evening, Becky Studebaker, and her nominator, Teresa Lindsay.
Good evening. My name's Teresa Lindsay, and I am in my second term as a member of the YWCA Board of Directors. I would like to present Becky Studebaker. She's been the executive director at the Y, which houses the Genesis program, and that's her beautiful granddaughter. For 15 years, she's getting ready to have her 15-year anniversary. In an average month, the Genesis program serves 105 victims. These victims come from crisis calls to our hotline, which is answered 24/7, 365 days a year. Protective orders, counseling clients, supervised visits so parents are able to still be with their children, and the shelter residents that actually stay and live at the shelter for whatever time they need. It's difficult for us to measure success in our organization because so much of what we do is confidential and cannot be disclosed or discussed. But I have a couple of examples of how Becky improved the lives of 2 clients that we had at the shelter. There is a book titled Love Never Fails. It is based on a life of abuse of a girl which began at the age of 14. The book was published in April of 2015 by Christy Bates. Christy Bates is a pseudonym with a great deal of meaning. The letters all stand for something. It includes thank you, and the letters for Kathy, Chris, which is a reference to Chris Wolski, who is our former chief of police of the Richmond Police Department, Becky, Angela, Teresa, Aaron, and Shirley, which were all staff members of Genesis when she was at the shelter. A portion of her dedication page reads, I want to dedicate this book to Becky, Teresa, Shirley, Kathy, Aaron, Angela, and Chris, because you gave me the strength to get through one of the most difficult times of my life. You taught me to see my strength and to have the courage to use it and not give up the good fight. She was a resident of our shelter, and the next chapter of her life has been wonderful so far. We had another client who was a resident. She came to the shelter with her mother and her younger sister. They were displaced from their home. The dad lost his job, began drinking, and then the abuse began. They lost their home, and everything that they had known in their lives as normal disappeared. The girl had been offered a full-ride scholarship to Ohio State, but her mom did not have the application fee. So Becky went into action. She organized the board. We got the fee together, and when she was accepted, Becky organized the donation and purchase of dorm room items and made arrangements for transportation, and that girl is still at Ohio State, and she is in the next chapter of her life. My daughter was so moved by what Becky and the staff do that she donated her Lemonade Day profits for 3 years to the shelter. She is now a junior in high school with a straight A average and plays 4 instruments. The tradition continued this year as we had 4 children this past May donate their Lemonade Day profits, which is teaching a lifelong lesson to young people about helping others who have been through things that they will never, ever fully understand. As funds become less for our organization, Becky's constantly searching and applying for new grants to help with the everyday cost of running a shelter. She's a tireless advocate at the sacrifice of her husband, Kevin, her daughters, Chloe and Ashley, her son-in-law, and her beautiful little granddaughter, Avery, down there. She is an advocate every day for domestic violence, sexual abuse. She makes sure that whatever residents are in the shelter on the holidays have a meal, a regular traditional holiday meal. We have Easter baskets, we have trick-or-treating for the kids, we have Christmas presents, and if she has to go to the ER at 3 a.m. because someone is there, needs help to figure out where to go, what to do, and they have no one else to turn to, Becky and the staff at Genesis are the answer that they have. The Athena Award is to be given to an exemplary leader who has achieved excellence in their business or profession, served the community in a meaningful way, and actively assisted women to achieve their full leadership potential. Becky epitomizes all aspects of this award, and I'm truly blessed to call her my friend. Thank you.
I believe that I am introducing Jackie Carberry, who is going to be presenting our awards. We're delighted to have Jackie with us. She was our award winner last year, well deserving, and so without further ado, here's Jackie Carberry.
I'm sorry, there's a lot of hugging going on back here. I'm very honored to be up here. And earlier today, I was reminiscing with Mary Jo Clark, the first recipient. And she said, you know, Jackie, how were you approached? I said, approached? I was shanghaied. I was called to a lunch with a friend, and pretty soon, all these other people started arriving, all looking like Cheshire cats. I'm like, what do you guys got for me? What's going on? And they said, have you ever heard of Athena? And I said, well, yes, Mary Jo got it last year, but I really don't know a lot about it. So they started talking to me about it, and I said, well, what does this have to do with me? And they said, well, we would like to nominate you. For all of you who have ever been with me in a meeting, you know how vocal I can be. And I was speechless. I said, no. I don't belong in the realms of those women. They are very strong. They are very wonderful. They're people that I admire and look up to. And they said, no, you do, and we want to do this. So I thought about it for a while, and I did go down that road, and it was a quite interesting road. I can remember when the other candidates were announced, and I was really taken aback, going, oh my gosh, I really don't belong in this category. And then I remember when Noreen said, well, we need to do a photo shoot. And I was like, oh my God, a photo shoot? I'm not very photogenic. But I really must say that they made it quite fun. It was really a fun photo shoot, and we had a great time. And then I was driving through town, and there's my picture on a billboard, not holding a candle and professing my love to a bank. And I'm like, will there be a traffic accident? What's going to happen? And then, of course, this evening, the night of the dinner, I came, and my husband sitting there holding his hand and probably thinking some of the same things that these three wonderful women behind me are thinking, and that is, please God, say another name. But I was very blessed and very honored to receive that award, and still in awe of all the people who have been nominated and who work to make Richmond a really wonderful and vibrant community. So you're not here to hear me ramble on, so I'm ready to present it. May I have the envelope? Mayor Dave.
There you are.
Wonderful, thank you. How y'all feeling? You praying for another name? Yeah. Yes. I understand. I understand. Boy, now I know how they feel at the Academy Awards. I have to eat my way through this envelope. I'm shaking. Let's see here. It is my great honor to be the first to congratulate our next Athena Award winner, Kim Poinsett.
Wow, I'm very honored. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. It looks like I wrote a lot, but I put it in like font 20, but then I still wore my glasses, so. Well, Amy and Becky, thank you for all the passion that you have in your jobs and what you do for this community. We do appreciate it. I love this community. I choose to live in this community and make my life here, like all of you. I love that we're small enough that you can't go to the grocery store without running into 10 people you know and having to stop and talk. You don't get that in the big city. I love that this community supports arts and live music and theater and festival and kids programming and sports and parks and trails. I love that in this community we hear about a problem and we instantly form a committee to work on it. We don't hide our blemishes, and sometimes we're too quick to point them out to new people. We sometimes get caught up in the negatives and we forget all of the wonderful positives that keep us living in this community. I love that there are so many strong women in this community that are passionate about what they do. I'm lucky to call many of them friends, mentors, counselors, and teachers. Many are here in this room tonight. The community has celebrated with me during the best times of my life and helped me through some of my darkest times, and I appreciate that. I have 3 friends and mentors who I need to thank for this nomination: Sherry Harlan, Bridget Hazelbaker, and Jenny Lallman. They are Athenas in their own ways, and they have given me ideas, suggestions, and allowed me to share with them. And I thank them. And I thank all of the people who wrote letters of nomination for me. And lastly, I love First Bank Richmond. We are a family there, and decisions are made based on what's best for the community. And I will always appreciate Gary Clear for giving me the best job in the world and helping me and supporting me in every way, and for his love of this community. Thanks to IU East and to Wayne Bank for all of their sponsorship of this dinner and for supporting strong women. And thanks to all of you for coming tonight. We really appreciate it. It means a lot. Thank you. I think we get to drink champagne now.
We're going to let everybody get back to their seats so we can do a proper toast. But in the meantime, I would love to thank our bronze sponsors, because they rock too. Amy Noe Law, Empire Title Services, FF&S, Georgia Direct Carpet, Gilliam and Zetzel, Happy Jewelers, who created that awesome Athena pin. If you haven't seen it, you need to. Libby's Fine Cigars, Lemons Florist, and I'm going to let Paula Kay do the rest.
Paul and Pat Lingle with Lingle Real Estate, MGIC, Richmond Furniture Gallery, Saver Systems, Bruce and Tracy Upchurch, and Van Vliet Insurance.
Thank you so much. Kim, could you come up, please?
I'm here.
Okay. We're just gonna hold on just a moment till Kim gets back up here. I hope everyone is having an amazing evening. Thank you again to Forest Hills for a great dinner and everything else that they've provided. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to our awesome speaker. Thank you, Kim, for getting to the front. Oh, I have 2. Okay. Please raise your glass to the amazing women we are honoring tonight. Here's to Kim Poinsett, our 2016 Athena Award winner, and our amazing finalists, Amy Oler Holthaus and Becky Studebaker. And to Mayor Snow.
Thanks, Jackie.
Congratulations.
Oh, it's me. Again, we would like to thank our Athena Award Dinner Committee for helping put all of this together this evening, and also to President and CEO Mark Sokop and Chancellor Cruz Uribe for their leadership. And thank all of you for coming. I hope you had a great evening.
And don't forget the selfie pics booth.